prove whether or not you should be spending a boatload extra amounts of money on oscillating multi-tool blades. We have the cheapest we could find on Amazon. It's a no-name brand, and it will be going up against one of the biggest names in any tooth-type blades in the industry. We have various building materials, wood with metal, screws, nails, PVC. And in this video, we will conclusively prove whether or not you should be spending a whole buttload more, or should you be going with the cheapest possible option out there on the interwebs. This is Diablo's 1¼ universal fit carbide oscillating multi-tool blade for general purpose cuts. It's good for nail embedded wood, clean wood, metal, PVC, and plastics. Diablo claims that their blade, with an average retail cost of $21.97, equals 50 standard oscillating multi-tool blades that would end up costing $698.50, saving you up to $676.53. This is the i.c.e titanium oscillating saw blades for metal, wood, nail, screws, cutting, plastic. It's a 3-pack, which costs $14.97, bringing the price of each blade to $4.99. The blades from i.c.e are titanium enhanced. They say bimetal oscillating saw blades with titanium coated teeth for heat resistance, long life, with strong wear resistance. This multi-tool blade lasts 2 times longer than usual blades, giving you the durability you'd expect. The variety of applications include wood, metal, non-hardened nails, screws, plastic, plasterboard, and other hard materials. My first impressions when looking at the blades are that they come with these adapters. I don't know exactly how or where we would use these. It does fit perfectly on this oscillating multi-tool. There's not any really wiggle. Although there is a titanium coating here, it looks like the way that the blades themselves, the teethuses on the blades are situated, it looks like this oscillating multi-tool blade is actually designed to cut in one direction only. Pretty interesting. What we have here is a standard 2x4 marked off in 1-inch increments. We're gonna make 3 cuts through this. This wood is not impregnated with any foreign materials. It is just regular wood. I want to make the first cut, just get used to the blade itself, see how it does, see how nice of a cut line I can make. See, we had some smoking, and you could see some actual, it looks like burning of the 2x4. There is maybe a little bit of gumming in the blade. You could see it's extremely hot. It's actually creating some vapor from the sweat in my hands. But all the teethuses are intact. Holding the cut line, personal impression, wasn't the worst, but it sure wasn't the best. I wanted to go more aggressive that time and give a little bit more pressure. Instead of allowing the tool to just work its way through the wood, I wanted to apply more pressure. I will say that I feel that the blade performed better the second time with more pressure than it did the first time. Let's make our third cut. I think that of the 3, that was probably the best cut so far. The more pressure that I applied, it seemed like the burning was actually minimized. We have our Diablo blade installed. All of our teethuses are intact. Blade's warm, but we're not getting any of that smoking off of the blade as I touch it from the oils in my hand. Let's get a little bit more aggressive with it, see how it does. We have no burning. And the reality is that that cut line's still pretty doggone straight. If I had to give one negative to the blade, it would be the actual length of the blade. You can see here where it welds to the actual mating surface for the tool. There's a little lip here. And if we look at our depth, we're just making it through that 2x material. We can get maybe a little bit more length if we rotate, but I think that if the blade was a smidge longer, we could potentially make it through our cut even quicker. I'm impressed so far. Way less effort, a better cut, less gumming. Next up, we have PVC. And there are some instances where an oscillating multi-tool can be handy. Problem is that if it can't make a clean cut, you might not be able to mate a coupling or adapter onto the pipe itself after you're done. Let's see how the i.c.e does. It's not terrible. I felt like I was getting a little bit of flex in the blade, and this is very soft material. It feels like it's getting caught and it's kicking the blade out of the material. It could be due to the one direction style teeth that are on this blade. Let's try it one more time. Honestly, I wouldn't have a problem using that blade to cut PVC. I think it did a fine job. Next up, Diablo. In this tubing size, I'm just wanting a wider blade. But if we were cutting something like 2 or 3 inch pipe, 4 inch pipe, it wouldn't matter anyway. We'd have to rotate the tool or rotate the tubing to make the cut anyway. But if we did have that larger width, it probably would complete the cut quicker, better. Now I'm just showing off. i.c.e says that their blades are made for nails with wood. We have 28 nails here. Let's see how it does. I'll admit, pretty doggone impressive, and all our artifices are intact. I would have liked the i.c.e to have made the cuts a little bit closer to the material, though. And you can see where we are cutting against the material, we did have some burning. Next up's Diablo. Now, the only part that worries me about the Diablo is that the width of the blade is a lot thinner. So it would be more pressure on each tooth, more to cut on each tooth. Let's see if it can make it through all these nails. No damage to the teeth is there, and our cut's pretty doggone flush. The other thing is that where we were riding up against the wood, we're not seeing the burning. And the speed of the cut, a lot more rapid with the Diablo. But let's see how it does with wood screws. These aren't drywall fasteners. These are a little bit softer. They're not as soft as a framing nail, but they are definitely not as hard as something like a drywall screw. We have 5 in a row. We're gonna leave the Diablo blade on. Let's see how it does. super flush, no burning. All our teethuses are intact. It's time for the e-arc. The one advantage so far is the wider blade. See how it does through these 5 screws. So we got through all 5. We did start to see some heating of the screw and melting of the screw. We still have some teethuses left on the Bismarck key, the e-arc, so I'm looking forward to making some more cuts with this. But before we do, we have a couple of lag fasteners. When it comes to the material, the density of this is in the realm of the wood screws, so it shouldn't really be a problem for either of these blades. These are 1/4-inch structural lag fasteners. First up, Diablo. No burning at the 2x4. It's a pretty flush cut. But has it damaged our blade? No, all teethuses are still intact. Time for the e-arc. There's no teeth left on this blade. Now, here's the reality. We have more e-arc blades. Actually, the teethuses are still pretty much intact after that second lag. Next up, we have what I feel is probably one of the hardest tests for an oscillating multi-tool blade. One cut through one drywall fastener usually relegates an oscillating multi-tool blade to the trash heap. Let's see how they do with the e-arc. See, those teeth are just rounded over. Some are missing. Pretty impressed it did the 3 drywall fasteners. But let's see how Diablo could do. That every tooth is intact, ready for more cuts. You can see we made it through that wood, practically no burning after cutting through 3 drywall screws. Everyone says that after you cut through a drywall screw, your blade is dead. Oscillating multi-tool blade is dead. Not anymore, not from Diablo. Here's the thing with these cheap blades. The reality is that in our initial tests, it didn't even cut wood well. I think that you're getting what you pay for. This is a cheap blade that's going to damage your work. It's not gonna last very long. You're not gonna get a lot of bang for your buck. Now, the price of the Diablo, you're not sacrificing the material you're cutting through. They've turned an oscillating multi-tool into a more precise instrument for the job site. You're able to stay on line as you're making your cuts, even through with this general purpose blade. This isn't a wood blade, but it cuts wood unbelievably well. It's not a metal blade, but it cuts through metal really well. For me, this blade is what I put on my oscillating multi-tools because as a remodeler, I generally encounter all of these materials. I don't want to have to switch back and forth from specialty blades, although Diablo does make those blades. Now, here's the reality of it. Some of you might say, but Vince, it's almost $30 for this blade. I will let you know that if you're not already subscribed and you don't have notifications enabled, you should do that right now, because if you like getting premium tools and tool accessories for a discounted price, that's what we do around here. We share tool deals because, frankly, I know what it's like to be on a shoestring budget starting a business. We find deals on all of this stuff, the tools, the tool accessories. This Diablo blade came in a 2-pack. We got it pretty much clearanced out. The 2-pack of blades was $8.48. So that means that $8.48 divided by 2 is what? $8.48 divided by 2 is $4.24. So actually, one of these blades was less expensive than the cheap blade, and it's a way better instrument. And I feel like getting a way better instrument for cheaper. Then smash the like button. It's free for you to do. It doesn't cost you a dime. Plus, you'll get 7 years of good luck. Leave it down below. What do you think about Diablo's tool accessories? Do you love them? Do you hate them? You think they're overpriced? Do you think they're underpriced and they should raise the prices? We want to know. Leave it all below. With that, I want to say I appreciate each and every one of you for being here. Thanks a lot, everybody. Hope this video helped you, and I hope to see you all on the next one.